Hello, my name is Amber. Welcome to my creative space. And yes, sometimes my creative space is my car, because as I work in the afternoons, I take my crochet bag with me and it keeps me occupied and keeps me from spending all afternoon on YouTube, to be honest. So it's time to start a new project, and I've chosen the 6-day star blanket by Betty McKnitt. I guess I'm in a mood to make odd shapes, because since the sampler blanket, I've done a spiral, I've done a cowl in the round, and now here I'm doing a star. My goal with this project is to use up yarn I already own. So I've gone through my yarn stash, and I have a lot of blue. So I collected all of my blue in the similar weight for the skeins and the thickness in the yarn. This says it's a medium 4. So I collected all the things that are similar, and there is nowhere near enough yarn to make the full-size blanket. So my goal is just to use yarn I already own. So I'll just crochet until I run out of yarn and see how big that is. From watching tutorials on this, it seems to get large pretty quickly, so I'd be happy if it's like a lap size blanket, something we can use in the living room, something just be cozy to throw over your lap or around your shoulders or something. I'm not really looking for things for the bed. We have plenty of bed size blankets. Even to have it in the car and travel with it would be nice. So I have a selection of blue yarn. The 2 yarns that I have the most of is Love This Cotton, and it is 306 dark denim. So I have 3 of these, and then I have basically 3 of these as well. This is a variegated blue. It has some greens. This is not the one with the label, so on a later video I'll find the one with the label and actually give more information about that. But then other than that, I just have some random blues and some whites to mix in. Some of the whites I have for later on are not the same weight, but I don't want I wanted to have some variation, so I'm going to include them. And I really love the feeling of this other yarn, so it's a little bit thicker, and I figure that will go well when I'm later on in the blanket, because the larger the blanket gets, just like the spiral, the larger the blanket gets, the larger your needle gets. So, but like, this is all I have of this blue, so it's going to get used up. So my thought is the ones I have the least of needs to be used first, so they're able to complete a full round. The further along the project, the less likely I'll be able to use the small stuff. So I was able to look up the chart, or not the chart, but the pattern on her website, and I just copied it over to a Google document, so I have it all there referencing wherever I am. It's been a while since I've worked on a project where I'm actually working off of a written pattern rather than a chart or a tutorial, so we'll see how I do. I'm a little bit nervous because I historically have issues doing written instructions. So, but my understanding is there's lots of videos about this project out there. So if I run into problems, I can probably find a tutorial to troubleshoot it. But I'm excited because it looks very pretty, and it looks like it does work up fast. I have no desire to say, hey, I have to finish this in 6 days. This is my bring along project, so whenever I'm out and about, I'm working on it. So we'll see how long it takes me. Today is August the 7th, so we'll see. So it is August the 8th. This is the second day I'm working on this star blanket. I just wanted to give you an update and a progress report. I finished all of the setup rounds, which there are 9 of them, and I'm now into the repeat. I think she calls them rounds 2 through 7. So there's 5 different rounds you're going through. So let me show you. So it's about steering wheel size, maybe a little bit larger. So these were the dark blue and the white were my smallest balls of yarn, and I used them until I couldn't go around the round anymore. I actually still have some left, but they're just tiny now. And then this is a variegated yarn here, and you can't really see it very much. There's a stripe of a darker blue, lighter blue, and then a cream. And then I'm going to repeat that. So the next one after this is going to be the variegated dark blue, light blue, cream. Eventually, these two blues will give away and this cream will give away, so I'll end up with a different blue going through it here, and instead of 4 different color repeating, there'll be a three color repeating, because eventually this cream will go away and I have some whites to replace it that are more of a chunkier yarn. I wanted to wait until I was further along in the blanket and the wider sections to use the chunkier yarn. So that's what it's looking like. I can see why people get excited thinking, oh yeah, I can definitely do this in 6 days, because it grows really fast. Of course, the further you go along in it, the longer each round takes, because there's just more stitches. So I'm going to continue enjoying this as I wait for some work to come in. So it is August the 17th. So 10 days later, I have my blanket completed. So I've just been working on it as I've been able to throughout the days, and I worked on it until the yarn would no longer go around the rounds. So the only yarn that got used completely and fully and absolutely is the variegated blue, because I finished it and then finished the rest of the row with a solid color. And everything else I have bits and smidges of yarn, just too small to go around whatever round I was working on. So in summary, trying to think, it's alternating rows of single stitch, 2 rows of cluster stitches, 2 rows of double stitches, and then you're back to single and so forth. So there's 5 rows that you repeat. And I believe I completed 5.5 repetitions of the repeat to get to this size. I'm happy with the size of the blanket. It's definitely a good enough size for putting on the sofas and curling up for a movie night or something. Definitely larger than lap blanket, but this, for context, is a king size bed, so it's obviously not throw size, but I wasn't going for throw size anyways. My point was to use up yarn I already had, and I did that. So another project accomplished, and we shall see what I get up to next time. I still think the theme is to use yarn I already have, because I don't really have a budget for new yarn. Maybe start looking into ways to get free yarn, if there's any places like that around here. I don't know, but we'll see. So until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day. In the meantime, feel free to like and subscribe. Bye.